and then later on we're like, oh my god, I should have used this. But if you just copy it down, put it in your phone, save it in your notes. I don't know about like Android phones or whatever, but I know like the iPhone has a note section, and that's where I put all of mine. And that way, whenever I'm ready, depending on what it is, if it's an invite, then I have hashtags that are more geared towards invites. If it's just a random, I don't know, Transformation Tuesday, then they're more geared towards that. So they'll be different depending on what they are. Obviously, some of your main ones will be there, but some of them will change. So you just kind of just have this, you copy and paste them whenever you're ready to hashtag. And a lot of times what a lot of people do is they also kind of have like their own hashtag, which I think is very important to have as well. Your hashtag will be a hashtag that kind of describes you, but it's only your hashtag. And it's easy to do, kind of think of the things that you like to do or something that describes you and just look it up. Go on Instagram and just search that hashtag and you'll see if anybody else is using it. I know like Denise does like the Nisi Fit, stuff like that, so that's like her hashtag. And I think that's a great thing, because what happens is once you use it a lot of times and you have a lot of pictures with your hashtag on it, once you get the person who's following you, they'll notice that that's like your hashtag, and once they hit it, they're gonna see all your stuff. It's gonna just pop right up, and then they'll be able to see what you're about, that you're not just this person who put this post up this one time. They'll see everything that you've done from before. But at the same time, if you do that, please keep in mind that if you're posting any kind of invites and things like that may be the same, please keep in mind that you may want to go back and erase some of those behind, because you don't want to have a whole bunch of invites with the same exact thing over and over and over show up when they put the hashtag in, because then you're going to look like you're kind of using the same thing and you're kind of desperate, and it's not really a good look. So I would say go back and erase the previous one, because you don't want it to seem like you're doing the same thing over and over.
And Eddie, let me interject here. The hashtags also show up on Facebook.
Yeah, I definitely use them on Facebook as well.
Yeah. I don't know that a lot of people realize that, but like when I use like I had to kind of change it up, Team Warriors of Fitness or Nisi Fit. Like I looked it up just to see who's using it or whatever. And it does pop up on Facebook too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, like definitely, you guys should kind of look into doing that. I don't know if you mentioned this, Eddie, but there was the change that she mentioned in terms of the putting your hashtags in the comments. Did you cover that at all? I
haven't covered that. No.
Okay. So for all of you that have been doing this for some time, as you remember, we used to be able to put our 25 to 30 hashtags in the comment section, and then you can go back to the comment section and actually delete them and put another 25 to 30 comments in there. So now that's changed. Like once your hashtags are there in the comment section, they're there. That's it. Like you refreshing those hashtags, it's not going to boost your post back up to the feed like it used to. Like, so what she says is that if you decide to do that, it's actually like let's just say you posted a picture 6 months ago, right? And you decide to go back to that picture and refresh the hashtags. So back in the day, when you would refresh those hashtags by deleting the old ones and putting in the new ones, it would literally bump your image back into the feed, because the feed is almost like a conveyor belt, right? There's posts constantly popping into the feed, so it would bump your post back into the feed. That used to be the case. Now that's changed. So if you decide to change your hashtags in the comment section, it'll refresh it, but your post is going to stay back 6 months ago where it was. It's not going to refresh it back into the feed. Does that make sense? So that's one of the changes that she talked about. So once you get your hashtags up there, that's it. Right? It wasn't that your understanding, Eddie? Like that's it. Once the hashtags are there, once
they're there, they're there. I mean, I mean, you guys could go on Instagram and check it out yourself, and you'll be able to see that once you put them on there, they're on there. There's no real way to kind of boost it back up. I'm trying to read this question. The benefit is that people on Facebook can search hashtags in the same way that they can. That goes for Twitter. I think Clarissa asked that question. And what she's talking about as far as people being able to go on there and search a hashtag and find certain things, it goes the same for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're not talking about it, but it's kind of the same thing. People search a specific hashtag, and then that's how they'll find they'll find that. They'll find whatever that they're looking for. And if your hashtag is one of those, then they'll find it because, again, your avatar, the people who you're trying to attract, they'll be looking for those specific hashtags, you know. And it takes a little bit of working at it, you know. It's not something you're gonna, you know, get overnight. But once you really get to know who that person is that you're trying to attract, you know, the person that you want to work with, the person that you know is gonna be, a good person to work with. Once you get it down pat, then you start, you know, kind of learning how to find those hashtags, and then it'll happen. And unfortunately, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's not gonna happen ASAP. But it's definitely doable once you do your research and really get in there, really follow those people. If you already have one person who you're following, who you think is kind of like the avatar that you want, then just follow them and see what they're doing, see what they're into, and let that help you be able to find out what the hashtags that you should use are.
All right. Good stuff, Eddie. Thank you so much for that. I just want us to kind of, you know, keeping the time in mind because we have so much great information. I wanted to introduce Nidia Mata, and I want to give her a really nice introduction. Nidia, are you on?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you see me?
Well, I can't because I have this image up here. Let me see.
Yeah, we can see her.
Can you guys see her?
The older sister?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, good.
Okay, hi, Nidia. Nidia, I mean, I can totally give like an introduction like I did earlier. I don't know if you were on, but I want you to share a little bit about, were you on when I gave you a really nice introduction?
So
where is she? There she goes. Hi, Nidia. So, but I'm going to have Nidia just kind of share a little bit about how she kind of became like I consider her like an expert. What I like about Nidia is someone who I used to work with a long time ago. And, you know, I would follow her on social media. And what I was so drawn to her images because her images would tell her story, like her life. Like you can see, you would know kind of like I would follow her son growing up and when she would have these outings and how her son would like, you know, put his toys in order. And that was kind of his thing. And there was just so many things about her that although me and Nidia have not seen each other in many, many years, I felt like through her images and through her social media, like she was telling a story and she is really good at making her images really pop. So I invited her to kind of share her area of expertise on our call. And she's going to talk a little bit about some of the apps that she also uses. And she happens to be Angie's cousin. Do you see the resemblance? Beautiful, beautiful ladies.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me see here if I can, I want to go on to the next image. All right. Can you guys see that okay? All right, Nidia, take it from here.
Okay, so I'm here to share with you my favorite apps. This is kind of like, I get the idea in my head, I take the picture, and this is kind of what the final step before it goes up on Instagram. You know, I wasn't here when Denise introduced me, which I'm sorry for that. But
okay.
Briefly, I got into photography when I had my son. Like any other parent, I took 1,000,001 pictures of him, and I just kind of went from there. I tend to do candid photography. I don't pose anybody. I tend to just take things in their natural habitat, depending on how I'm feeling. And the app is chosen based on that effect as well. So whatever I want to convey to Instagram or however I'm feeling at the time, I will have a special app to kind of use for that. So what I did is I have my phone. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. What I did is I opened up each app. And I figured the best way to do it, aside from, you know, the first thing is you get a picture that looks perfect, the one that you're about to put up. And I use two apps mainly. They're called ViscoCam and Camera 360. And I've told my cousin about Camera 360. I often recommend it. So,
and you said VistaCam?
ViscoCam. Visco is This is what it looks like.
It's right here, right? It's one of these that you share. Oh, VSCO, right here, the one in white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So VSCOcam is, when I first got VSCOcam, it's a free app now. I remember it being marketed as the serious photographers app. So it doesn't have a lot of wonky filters. It's got pretty much everything you need to kind of like over here. I don't know if you could see it. It's probably not the best thing, but those are the filters right there. It's not a lot of them, and they're all very subtle. They're not like crazy looking pictures. So they're all pretty much natural looking things. And then it has a section here where you can just edit the picture and all of that. So it's pretty no frills and gives you some control over your picture. So this is my sample picture. It's a picture of Aiden's toy, Spider-Man.
And by the way, Nydia, I just wanted to interject. These are all Nydia's pictures, and she's taken them all with her iPhone.
iPhone only.
iPhone only. So that's why, like take a good look. And Nydia, also, if you can talk like also about, like background and the, like just a lot of the details that I think that a lot of us tend to kind of forget. This is Nydia's, her Instagram page right here, Clay Snails. If you guys want to take a look at some of her image, I find them to be just amazing and so eye-catching. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share that.
No, the background should always be clutter-free unless it has something to do with your image, or your message, whatever it is that you want to convey. I think I tell my little boy this a lot when he tries to get into photography. Make sure your coat's not just randomly sitting in the back. There's a whole system to this. People aren't going to look at your picture if it's confusing to them, and they're not really knowing what you're saying. It just looks like a messy room or like a hot mess. No one's really going to look at it. So a lot of the time I make sure that my image, even if I have to, if it is a candid shot, I make sure that the background matches the front. Like it's gonna work even as a candid shot. And if it's gonna be a little bit more of a setup shot, then I make sure everything is outside. You could see from the images that Denise has up, like my kid in the window, the plants are fine. Coraline over here, I kind of moved the gifts to the other gifts to the corner, so on and so forth. But with respect to the, once you have the image that you're going to put up ready to go, the apps that you use are like, for instance, the ones that I'm talking about now. So VSCO. So this is VSCO. VSCO just has regular filters, nothing too crazy. The next one is Camera 360. Now, Camera 360 is my favorite one because it gives you a lot of control over the image. You could do the sharpening. You can make it look tack sharp, which is also very important for the images that I put up, that they're very, very clear and they're tack sharp. And Camera 360 also, if you're doing like a selfie, it's a good app to kind of smooth out the skin and, take out little blemishes here and there without making you look absolutely nuts and completely made up in plastic. So Camera 360 is good for those things, for those kinds of
I need that one.
those kinds of little things that you want to do to your photos. If it's an image of your face or something like this that you kind of want to fix your face a little bit. And just Camera 360 is also free. And sometimes I use it if I want to manipulate a color, if I want to make just a certain color on my picture pop, because it has a filter where you can just change the colors up. So this is shade though. This is not it. So if you see here, like I can just click on the red and just make just the red part of him pop and leave the rest of the image alone. The next, so Camera 360 is probably the one I would recommend the most for you guys. And after that, VSCO, VSCO's more for like a fine art photography, that kind of stuff. The next one on my list, which I use not as often as the other ones, is called Rebel Sauce. So Rebel Sauce will give you very moody pictures. So very foggy, very like moody pictures. Like this isn't really translating well because I can't show it really through the feed, but
Nydia, I can always like send them this image that you sent me.
Right, and they can kind of see for themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Rebel Sauce is good if you want a very dense, very foggy, very kind of faded, moody picture. So I use that a lot of the time if it warrants. One of the pictures that Denise has up has Rebel Sauce kind of in there where the picture's very faded. It's the one where where it's outside. It's the winter. I might have actually used Visco and Rebel Sauce for that. Sometimes one in the middle here, or even the one with Aiden where he's very faded. That looks kind of like a Rebel Sauce type picture. Coraline Rebel Sauce was used for her as well.
Your doll.
The doll, yeah, the doll in the raincoat. Rebel Sauce was used for her. It just makes the picture very moody, very foggy.
I mean, what I like about what you're doing, Nydia, is that seriously, these are just like regular, like you're just walking in the park, or these are just regular pictures, and you make them look so artsy and so attractive.
Oh, thank you.
You know, so like, I definitely like your style. And it just makes me feel like we can literally take a picture of anything. And if we know what we're doing, we can make it almost look like art.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's one of the I guess the rules for my own photography. I don't put anything up that I won't necessarily be able to print out and put on a wall. So anything that makes it to my Instagram feed is going to be for that purpose. Or it's gonna have like those little qualities on it.
Not us though. We be putting us all kinds of crazy stuff. You know us coaches. And a lot of times like we just want to put something out there because we have to be posting throughout the day. And so like, my thoughts are I want to get really good at using some of these apps because if it just takes me a second or two to like, lighten up a picture or whatever, make it prettier, then that's a good thing because we really don't have a lot of time to be messing with these apps and so it has to be like user friendly and we have to get to really know them.
Yeah, the most user friendly ones that I'll probably be talking about today are Camera 360 #1 and Visco. Rebel Sauce it's just a filter. I mean, they have parts of it where you can change it up and add more sharpness to it or lighten it or have this. But if you just want to, if it's on the go and it's very quick, definitely Camera 360 and Visco. Another one that's a favorite is Big Lens. Now, Big Lens is, this is a picture of my cousin. This is one of the pictures I took of her, and I kind of already started it out. Big Lens will act like a regular DSLR. So if you compare this one, like, see, I don't know, it's like really quick, the background.
Yeah.
So if you're just taking a picture with your phone and you want that look like you took like you did it with a regular digital camera, this will blur out the background or blur out points to it.
Okay.
So so that red thing, anything that's red is going to stay in focus. So, if I continue to red, so everything that's in red will be in focus.
Ah.
So that's Big Lens. And then the last one I have here is Snapseed. So Snapseed is good for...
I have that one. I've used it a few times.
Snapseed a lot of control. I find that Snapseed isn't as easy as the other ones to use because it just, you kind of really have to sit down with it and get to know it to know which filter, or it's not even a filter. I use Snapseed sometimes just to kind of get rid of one little thing in a picture, like a blemish, or like it's called like a healing brush. If you got to remove a lot of the background, or if you got to heal something or remove it, and add a little bit more drama or play with the tonal effects, like it gets very complicated. So Snapseed I don't use that much, but it's good for certain things. So I think the point of this whole like discussion is Camera 360. It's on the, if you need something on the go that has a lot of tools and that lets you, it gives you a lot of control over your picture and what you're gonna edit and how you're gonna edit it, and it also has some pretty good filters to add to it. It works the best for people that are on the go and they have like to put something up really quickly. I know there's one of my cousins called Studio, I think it is, or Studio Design, where you can add fonts and stuff. I don't do font work a lot of the time, so it's not one that I use. But I know that you guys, I've seen a lot of the coaches' ads and Instagram photos, and they have a lot of font work, and my cousin's pictures always have a lot of font work. I think when I take her pictures, I keep that in mind, that there should be a lot of space on the side or on above her, or something to this effect, so she can put some wording in there. And I think Studio is an app that she uses, which is very, very good.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of good apps out there. So I think it's just a matter of us figuring out, which one works best for us. And
Right.
in terms of what I want everybody to get out of like what you're sharing with us is just that to be more mindful of like what you're putting out there as much as you can, because there's definitely going to be times that we're kind of like just we're kind of just going with the flow and we snap a picture and we just want to put it out there. But definitely in terms of like making your images pop and making them more attractive and just to be more mindful of that. And apps are just an amazing way, like the filters and all that stuff, to make the pictures be more attractive and even fix, stuff up that, like you said, background and all that good stuff. To me, that's amazing that we're able to do that. One of the things that I would suggest everybody is just to take pictures, even if you just store them, right? I mean, do you do that, Nydia? Like, even if you're not going to post right away, you're just probably walking around the city or wherever, and you're just taking pictures and they're just on your phone. And then when it's appropriate, you put it out there.
I do. I have a lot of pictures that are just kind of like, I know what I do is I take so many pictures that the ones I'm thinking I would want to use later on, I just put the little heart, I favorite it, so it's easy to find later on.
That's a good idea. Good stuff. All right. So is there anything else that you wanted to make that you think that we would be useful? I loved all the information that you shared. I
think that's
She's also Angie's photographer, by the way, who took some bomb ass pictures of her.
Yeah. I have a good time taking pictures of her.
You're really, really good. I really, really appreciate you. Does anybody have any questions for her? Because Nydia does have to go. So I just want to really quickly ask if anybody has questions, just unmute yourself and ask her. Or they might have questions for us later.
Okay.
All right, Nydia, if you have to go, that's, have a good time. And thank you so much.
Well, have a good rest of the call. I'll see you guys later.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. So I just kind of like chose a few images from a few of us here to kind of just show you. And just these images to me are attractive. So, if you see, they're really bright. They're probably, some of them were probably had some filters used on them. This picture here, Elisa's picture, her face is really bright and clear. It's really expressive. Here with Angie's nephew. I mean, so, just kind of take a look at these pictures. Tanya's granddaughter, I mean, her face, even though it's a very simple picture, her daughter's face is so like, her granddaughter's face is like so clear and just kind of up in the camera. And it's definitely a picture that I would stop and kind of scroll, I would stop to look at. So start paying attention to some of that stuff in terms of looking at your feed. All righty. So now what? This is going to segue into our last topic. Let's recap here real quick. So we've learned a few tips and updates on how to work Instagram in order to maximize your followers. We talked about targeting your niche or attraction marketing when we mentioned your avatar. Shared a few tips on how to make your social media images pop. So now, how do we engage on Instagram following and convert them into customers? And this is where Cruz, I'm going to have you go on mute. Cruz Garcia is a 2-star diamond coach. She's a Success Club all-star, and she is amazing. She has been giving me tips recently because I definitely have been looking to at my social media in terms of where I need to make changes. A lot of times I think that we get kind of into a routine, and what could be working for us now may not necessarily be working for you 2 or 3 months down the line. So what I noticed myself personally is that the stuff that I was putting out there 6-7 months ago that was getting me a lot of attention has not been getting me the same attention lately. So I did ask Cruz to kind of, give me some guidance. So Cruz, are you on?
Hello.
Your topic's here. Take it away, girl.
Okay. Can I just add one more thing about Instagram?
Of course.
I just want to share something that I do personally. Okay. When you go to, let's say I go to this guy. Okay. The internet in here is having an issue, but regardless. So I go to one of my followers. Let's say that he's someone of interest that I want to keep in mind, okay? Besides me putting him on a list and always, making sure that I'm looking at his posts, liking some of his posts, commenting on some of his things, I also do turn on the notification, which is also a feature that IG has now. So what you do is you'll go to the actual person's IG. On the top left-hand corner, you're gonna see 3 dots. You're gonna click on those dots, and it's gonna say turn on post notification. Once you do that, when that person posts on his IG, it's going to come out so-and-so post blah, 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 okay? So like that, if you're on at that moment, you're not gonna miss that person's post. So people of interest, for me, I have them on notification as well, in addition to having them on a list. So I just thought I would share that for you guys. Okay, so what I do, one of the things that I do, and I know you guys already have heard this before, when it comes to personal development is going to be key with anything that you do because you're interacting. You need personal development to be able to interact with the people that you're going to meet. You're going to meet different personalities. You're going to get to know different personalities. And for that, personal development has helped me tremendously. And why? Because it has helped me not to take it personal. You're going to come across many, many no's. And I came across many of them before I started getting a flow to it, okay? And I still get my no's. But I know what I understand from it is that at this moment, this particular person is nothing with me. This particular person is not ready. It could also be that at this moment, this person really doesn't know much about me and they want to stay watching me. So that's another point, is that you need to stay consistent. On social media, it is key to stay consistent. So even if you have beautiful pictures, if you are not posting 3 to 4 times a day, it's like you're closing shop. So you have to remember that this is your business, okay? Every time you show up, you're open for business. When you do not show up and they're looking for you, basically you close your shop. So you need to stay consistent with your business in order for them to be able to trust you. So the reason why I have been able to, in the last 2 months, Denise has asked me, what are you doing? You know what? What I did was, one of the things that I did was I made a choice, basically. I know that by the second week, I want to be at Success Club 10. I know that. So I made a choice and I said, you know what? I need to do everything that I tell my coaches to do, which is stay consistent. Do everything that I need to do. Do my 3 vital behaviors. I invite daily. I am constantly talking to people. If you're not constantly talking to people, then there's a problem. So you need to be constantly inviting through IG. I DM people through there. And it's usually the people that I DM, it's a mix. It could be people who have liked an invite. However, they haven't said anything. They didn't put their email there. And I'll still DM them. Reason, because some people feel embarrassed. They don't feel, that they want to say, you know what, I'm interested. And I've had that. I'll reach out to them and they'll tell me, you know what, thank you for reaching out. So you should make it a habit to also, like, any invites that you post on your IG, pick one, look at them, and I'll usually pick about 15 to 20 people and I'll DM.
Hi, everybody, and welcome.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So create urgency is another thing that I do. I will post that I have, when I'm going to do an invitation, I post that my next challenge group is going to open up, let's say February 22nd. Stick to the date. Stick to the date no matter what. Because if you do not create urgency, once you start talking to them and you do not remind them, well, my next challenge group is going to open up on this date. When are you looking to start? Are you ready to start? If not, if you leave it open to them, you're not closing them. You're not going to close them at that moment, I'll tell you right now. Because you're just leaving it open for them to decide to come back to you whenever. Okay? So I create urgency. I make it a point every week. I'm opening up a whole new group and I'm telling them, this is the date. You have to order by this date. And, you know, and from there on, then I'll explain the whole thing about the challenge group. Okay? Confidence and posture. Confidence.
Wait, Cruz, I wanted to interject about what you just said about the challenge group.
Sure.
So guys, even if, I'm sorry, but even if there is no date, the whole creating a sense of urgency, even if you're not specifically starting a brand new group next month, we still want to say that. Because they won't move on it. Something else will pop up. They'll go shopping. They buy that bag. So, like something else, you know, they won't move on it unless you create that sense. So I just wanted to make clear about the whole, like setting the date of the groups.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, because usually it's not that, just like Denise said, it's not that we're actually opening up a whole new, because I have one challenge group, okay? In that one challenge group, I still tell them that I'm opening up, I have a new challenge group opening up. It's not necessarily that I have like 5 or 6 challenge groups opened up, okay? But you still want to create that sense of urgency. Confidence and posture. Confidence is very important, because if you go in, they're coming to you because they, at this point, they feel ready. They want to find out information. And if they feel like you do not know what you're talking about, you're going to lose them. So one of the things that I do, I'm going to say that I make sure is that I know my thing, especially about Shakeology, because that always comes up. And I'm not talking about knowing, you know, the ingredients in it or anything like that. They usually want to know, like for me, the people that I have, the clients that I've had or prospects that I've had, they want to know, well, you know what, how long have you been taking Shakeology? What has it done for you? So you want to be able to tell them, what has it done for you? Particularly for me, I share my story. I tell them, I lost 65 pounds, but Shakeology is more than just to lose weight. It helped me to lower my cholesterol. My cholesterol was extremely high. I was at risk of heart disease. So I tell them, I share all of that with them. And if you have a story, let's say from your own group, let's say someone who's diabetic or high blood pressure or anything like that, those are stories you want to keep in mind, because you can share that with them. And that is because they will ask. Okay?
People connect to stories, so
they do.
So you have to make it a point to get to know your teammate's story. And like Cruz said, have like a story bank. So get to know someone who was pre-diabetic, someone who's had cholesterol. I mean, even in my life, my mother, my father, I can share stories about them and how Shakeology helped them. So make sure that you have like kind of a mini story for like almost like any situation. Because trust me, if you ask people or like people on our teams or even on Team Eagle, you will find them. I think Cruz, right? There's like a story for like every single illness.
Yes, there's millions of stories and so many things, even pregnant women who are taking Shakeology. So those are things that you want to share given the situation of the person that you're speaking with, of course. Okay? Now, another thing that I do when it comes to my prospects is that you have to create connection, okay, with them. So what I do is, before I even speak with them, I've gotten good at closing through messaging. Okay, I message with them. Before it used to be through phone, but I've gotten really good at, I understand them, and I know exactly what I need to say, and I follow my script. I know my stories. I'm good. However, I still go to their social media. Okay, before I even speak with them, I go to their social media. Why? Because I want to know a little bit about them. They know something about me. Is why they're choosing me. I want to know a little bit about them. Do they have kids? I want to know, are they putting anything about their job? I want to know, what type of person are they? Do they like to party? I mean, they post things like this on social media. So I want to get an idea of who I'm speaking with, okay? And that also for me, also the age, because I'm 45, okay? So I know exactly who I'm dealing with. If it's someone younger, I know how to deal with them, okay? Versus someone my age, I know exactly, I'm not gonna speak to them the same way I speak with someone who may be in their 20s, okay? So
Good point.
That's another thing that I like to do. So basically, I know Denise wanted to know for you guys, how is it that I convert them? So what happens is this. When I put my post, I always put a transformation first, okay? And I may do this, I just actually did it right now. But what I do, I may do it like 2 times in the week, okay? So I'll post a transformation, and I usually do it between 8 to 8:30. I'll wait about an hour, and I'll post the invite, okay? Now, the invite, what it says is, I'm looking for my next 5 girls to be part of my team. You must be 18 plus, US, and from PR and Hawaii only, and must be willing to change, no excuses, serious and committed. Only 5 women will be chosen. First come, first serve. Drop your email below, okay? And they'll drop their email below. Now, when I do my transformation, I'm adding people. When I'm doing the invite, I'm adding people. And throughout the day, when I know that I'm going to do that, and the reason why I get people is because I've been adding people throughout the day as well. Through Crowdfire, you're allowed now, it used to be 100, it went down to 60, okay? So it's, you can, every hour on the hour, you can add 60 people through Crowdfire. It's an app. So if you guys don't have it, you should get it. Okay. So that's what I do. And then from there, what I do is, once I have the email, of course, like I told Denise, I will delete it. After a while, I'm going to delete it. I don't leave it there. I take a screenshot, send them the email. And my first part on that is usually, thanks for reaching out to me. I will send this to Denise, but I'm going to read it. Thanks for reaching out to me on my challenge. One of the most important aspects of my challenge, even above the weight loss, is the mental breakthroughs that occur. There are many ways to lose weight, but only one to keep it off. And that's by making a shift in the way you think about nutrition and exercise. And most importantly, the way you think about yourself and your potential. So my question to you is this. What is your current weight? How much are you looking to lose? And why are you ready and willing to do what it takes to make a change? Okay?
I have it. I'm going to post it in the Cup Challenge page, guys. I have
Okay.
that. You shared that with me. And
Okay.
it works. I actually used it on somebody and it worked.
Okay, awesome. All right. So then after that, I wait, and in the email, I always put, and I learned this from a call when I first started coaching, and I never used it until last year, and I see that it works on emails. So at the end, I always put, I look forward to hearing from you. And that's because that leaves it open, because you're waiting for a response from them, okay? And they do respond back. So I say, I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Coach Cruz. Okay. Once I get their response on what it is that they're looking to lose, how much they're looking to lose, and why they feel that they're ready, I'll ask them, I may ask them, what do you feel that you struggle with the most? Your fitness or your nutrition? Please provide details, okay? Or I may say something like, how long have you been trying to lose the weight, and what have you done in the past to try and lose the weight? Okay, so like that, I have an idea of what have they tried, what are they doing, and all of this, keep in mind that all of these questions that you're asking them, you're gonna use this because you're gonna bring all of this back to when you're recommending the program. Because you're gonna tell them, why are you recommending the program? You're recommending the program because, you know what, you told me you struggle with nutrition. Well, you know what? The 21-day fix is amazing because it offers the containers which are going to help you with your portion control. Nutrition is 80% of your whole journey. So this program is going to help you immensely on that part. If it's fitness, or if they don't have time, if they tell you, you know what, I just joined the gym, I don't have time, I don't even do this, I don't even do that. Well, you know what, 21-day fix is only 30 minutes, and that's all you have to spend on that. And you're doing it from the comfort of your home. So this is the reason why you want to know, all of these questions is because you're going to use it back to them when you're recommending the program that you're going to recommend. And me personally, I recommend the 21-day fix to many, too many, almost all of them, okay? And the reason for that is because the 21-day fix, the girls that I have in my group have had amazing results with that program. Just because it focuses on nutrition being, like I said before, 80% of it. So after that, okay, what I do is this. I'll say, what I need to know from you. Oh, before that, I'll share a little bit about myself, a little bit about my journey, okay? And I'll tell them how I can relate to what it is that they're struggling with, okay? Then after that, I would say, what I need to know from you is that you're 100% all in. I'm very selective over who gets one of the spots in my group. The accountability is insane, but if you start dropping off, it affects the morale of the group. So I handpick my participants based off commitment level. Can you commit that you'll give it 100% effort and not give up? Okay.
Can you send us that whole script? That's nice.
Yes. After that, okay, when they come back and they tell me, yes, I can't commit, I tell them, great. Can you please send me a friend request and message me on Facebook so we can continue from there? That's how I pass them over.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I like to, Cruz, and I do this as well, is it's okay to say that you're selective. Make it sound like it. People want to feel like you're choosing them to be part of this exclusive group. I specifically tell my people when I get them on the phone that I want to make sure that this is a good fit. And I put a lot of time into getting you started right. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because I want to make sure that this would be right for you. And I choose a certain amount of people to be in my group. I specifically say that to make it exclusive. And then they think like, oh, okay, like she's serious.
Yes, exactly. And that's what they want. You know what it is that the people that I've, for the last couple of weeks, the people that I have been attracting, they want that accountability. They want to know that this is not just that I'm picking every single person that's coming to me.
Yeah.
So, this has helped me tremendously to be able to close with them. And it is, I've gotten to a point, honestly, where I have turned away a couple of people. And I have told them that at this point, they are not ready because I know they're going to fall off. I'm not looking for money. What I'm looking to do is to help. Like I get like such, I get a high when I see transformations in my group. You know, it really, it does something to me. And I know for you too, Denise. I mean, we've spoken about this. And if I see that you're going to go and spend $140, $160, $200, and I know you're not going to do anything with it, I don't want to do it. You know, come back to me when you're ready. So once I have them over at Facebook, usually by then, what I do is that I share with them exactly what my challenge group is about. I'll give them a breakdown of what my challenge group is about. And I will also ask them, have you heard of Shakeology? So once I ask them, are you familiar with Shakeology? If they tell me no, then I will give them a breakdown about Shakeology. And I will tell them that before they even start their program, the first thing that we're going to do in the group, as soon as they get their package, is we're going to start with the 3-day cleanse where they can lose between 3 to 8 pounds in 3 days. They usually are like, cleanse? What cleanse? Tell me about the cleanse. Tell me more about the cleanse. And
so you kind of like hype it up. Like
yes, exactly.
You let them know exactly what they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of really keep the excitement going.
Exactly.
And you share, hey, this is what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to get you ready. Like,
mm-hmm. And then from there, basically I just tell them, you know, well, my group is going to start February, blah, blah, blah. You know, when were you looking to start? So then they go ASAP. So I never sent, me personally, I know that there's a lot of people who do this, but I don't send out my link to anyone unless they tell me they're going to order at that point.
Yeah.
And then they tell me, this is why I tell them, I said, the reason why I cannot send you the link yet is because it's going to expire. So unless you tell me you're going to place the order right now, I'm not sending you the link.
I like that.
So
you don't even put them in a mobile enrollment until
they tell me, yes, right now I'm going to place the order. So
that's a good strategy.
Behavior. No, as I was speaking with you guys, when I was listening to you guys, I had just closed someone. And the girl was like, she had told me that she wasn't going to place the order until next week, that she wasn't going to be ready, that she'll be ready for my next group. I said, okay, no problem. So she told me now, she's like, I'm ready. And I said, are you sure? Because the link is going to expire and I don't want to be resending. She goes, no. She just signed up. So I make everything like, you know what? My group, sorry, is the shit. Okay, that's how I make it sound. And it is. I really worked hard in my group to make it what it is. So I make sure that whoever's going to come in there, they're going to have a great experience. That they're not going to come out of there and be like, no, you're going to have a good experience. We want you to lose your weight. The reason you came to us is for a transformation. We want to get that transformation to you. So that's, I think that also because they see that I do want to, give them what it is that they're looking for. Like I'm rooting for them. That also is what, makes them want to come to me as well. So then after that, basically I closed them already. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elisa, I think wanted to either share or ask you something. Elisa?
Sure.
Elisa, you can go on, you can unmute. Oh, maybe I saw her like raise her hand. Maybe not. Well, I wanted to kind of share these amazing pictures because these are ladies that are on Cruz's team, all from Instagram, right?
Yeah, all my girls, 95% of my girls come from Instagram.
Very good.
95% of my girls. And you, I'm pretty sure some of you are even friends with some of these ladies. So.
Yes. I recognize most of them.
Yeah, so.
Thank you so much. So does anybody have questions for Cruz? Cruz, so you will very kindly share. I have half of your script, but I don't have the other piece of it because I like the wording for some of that. I feel like I already use a lot of, in terms of the exclusive part of it and the urgency, but definitely I love how you word it. And I'm definitely going to use that technique with the link. it's going to expire, so I don't want to give it to you.
I do that. I always do that. That's why when people tell me, oh, I send them the link, I say, why did you do that? Don't do that. Tell them it's going to expire, because once you do that, that's like the urgency.
They sit on it. Yeah, they sit on it.
That's like the urgency. When you don't create urgency, they just it stays there. You know, they stay there. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And follow up, guys. Follow up is key. I'm actually getting people from a year ago. You have to remain consistent on your Facebook. If you pass them over to Facebook, you're constantly looking at what you're doing. And there's going to be something that you're going to end up posting, and it's going to trigger them. And they're going to come and reach out to you. Like I said, I have people from a year, 2 years ago, that now all of a sudden they're like, Cruz, I need you.
Absolutely. Like that, it happens.
I have a question.
All the time.
Yes. Elisa.
Hey.
How are you?
I know.
Good. How are you, gorgeous?
How are you? Good.
So I'm sorry I'm late. I was in my class, so I didn't get the entire call. But I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but help me out in this. Do you, since your level of commitment is so high for your challenge groups, I know that eventually you're going to have people that are going to start dropping off, or they're going to lack, posting, and they're not going to participate as much as they are supposed to do. What do you do with those people? You keep them out, you kick them out, or you keep them? And also, what do you do with someone cancels? Okay. And what do you do with someone cancels Shakeology for at least 3 months in a row? Do you keep them in the group? Or no?
Okay, so this is another thing that I do as soon as they're signing up. And I know that things happen, okay? So as soon as they're signing up, Carol and myself are partners in Team Nexus, okay? That's our team, all right? And one of the things that her and I, we came up with was that as soon as we're speaking to our prospects, one of the things that we do tell them is that they have to be on Shakeology in order to stay in the group, because Shakeology is part of the nutrition plan. We tell them that straight off the bat, okay? Now, things do happen, all right? Do people fall off? But we have a very small percentage of people who fall off, very small. And Saudi is one thing that she's always said that about me, that I really try to always show in the group by either a video or me posting, and telling them, like today, I even told them again, I'm like, because we have so many new girls, I'm like, you know what, this is what Shakeology has done for me, and I'll share a bit of my story, and, can someone tell me why, they're loving Shakeology so much? So I try to always put something about Shakeology between Kara and I. So we're giving it that value, okay? And we'll look for things either through the back office or Google, about Shakeology that we may not know, and we'll post it in there, okay? Once in a while, we will throw that in. Now, do we keep people who have stopped Shakeology altogether? Carol and I have a difference of opinion in that. Me personally, I do, okay? Depending on the situation.
Okay.
There's some people that may fall off because at that moment they're going through some financial difficulty, and they'll share with me, what they're going through. But they'll tell me, they're like, Cruz, you know what, Shakeology has done this for me, and I really do want to get back on it. Can you just give me like a month or two? I leave them in the group. And what I do tell them, though, Elisa, is that for me, if you're not going to do Shakeology, at least give me a transformation. So I want to see them doing their workouts. I want to see them following their meal plan. And I have them, all of them, not only these particular people, all of them posting their meal logs inside the challenge group. So like that, we can see exactly what it is that they're eating. So come Monday, when it's weigh-in, we don't have a big surprise as to, why are you not losing weight?
What do you mean by a meal log? Like they're breaking down
Okay, so a meal log is this. Usually what happens is, like on your phone, you could go to your notes, okay? And you'll put breakfast, whatever it is.
Like a list, like a little breakdown.
Like a list, right? We call it a meal log. So their list and they're going to post that in the group and tag their coach. So like that, we can see it, okay it, or if not, we'll tell them what it is that they need to change. I do not keep them, take them out of the group. No, I do not. I usually keep them in. And it depends on the situation. If I think that is someone who's trying to just take advantage, plus they're not doing their workouts, they're not doing anything, I will remove those people. Because at this point, what's the point? What was the other question, Lisa?
I think that was it.
No, that was it.
That was it?
No,
Yeah.
that was good, Cruz. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you please share everything with us?
Of course. Of course.
Thank you so much. So anyone else have any more questions for Cruz? I just want to make sure that this is this call was so informative, and she shares everybody, all the presenters shared a lot of great information. So I really want to make sure that we all actually implement, because that's the big piece of this. Like, we can offer you trainings left and right. But if you don't have a good plan as to how you're going to implement some of this stuff, then it's really like it was for nothing. So I want to make sure that everybody leaves tonight understanding the value of this call, understanding that, everybody here took the time to present this information to you all, and to make sure that you are going to have some kind of set plan in place in order to implement what you've just learned. Even if you have to just take the notes down, and then if you need some help with that, go to your upline coach. We'll definitely help you with no problem. How to do some of this. All right. So how to actually implement. I'm huge on that, because it's just important. Right. So with that being said, are we any more questions before we close it up? I know we kind of went a little late. This is a great call. All righty. All right, everybody. So let me go ahead and we got a lot of people on.
Thank you for having me on your call.
Thank
my
you.
team. Thank you so much for having us on your call. It was really great. I hope it helps.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. So have a good night. Let me just take a quick picture for whenever it might not be posted tonight, but it will at some point. Oh, geez. I always have issues. All right, everybody. Hi, Adriana.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.